All right, good morning. I think Rodney just shared with you my entire presentation, so hopefully we'll have a few more facts to add to it. We are going to cover an overview of the Modernize portfolio and project management initiative, talk about the vendor that we've selected to partner with us on this initiative, and an update as to where we are, and open up for questions. A number of years back, TxDOT embarked upon a journey for business process improvement around portfolio management, project delivery and governance, as well as performance-based planning. And during that, we've called that the Business Process Improvement Initiative. So that is one of 3 initiatives that have come together to create a transportation program initiative across the agency. With that, we had House Bill 20 that was approved, which required us to be transparent about how we score projects and prioritize those projects, along with our metropolitan planning organizations also having to be transparent about how they score their projects, which ties right into the business process improvement initiatives that we were in the midst of. Along with that, we said, well, we need a solution to help us in order to deliver these business process improvements, House Bill 20, and our transportation programs. And that is what the MPPM project is. It is the technology behind delivery of our transportation programs. So what does that mean, the delivery of our transportation programs? Well, it means automation of all different aspects of the transportation programs. So our portfolio, how do we look at the roll-up of all of the projects across the agency and across the metropolitan planning organizations as well? What is our project management? How do we manage the entire project lifecycle from initiation through project close, not just to letting? Our contract management, in order to perform one project, on average, we can have 4 to 8 contracts supporting that project. So we need to know what contracts are related to the project, where those contracts are, and managing those in relation to the project. There's aspects of asset management, whether it's our parcels for right-of-way or it's the bridges across our roadways. And then we have our letting management. Today there are 12 systems that the information has to get through in order to get from our project management system known as DCIS through the letting process and then back into DCIS in order for the information to flow over to other systems to execute the contracts. So MPPM is the solution to automate all of this information and all of these workflows and system flows into one solution. The vision of MPPM is in 4 parts. The first is that we need to deliver the system capabilities, as I was just speaking of. Right? We need to have the information in one place, so you have a single source of truth and we know what that accurate information is, but also the workflows, to know where the project is progressing or where the contract is progressing, who's in charge at that time, and who needs to be doing approvals. The other visionary area is that we're building organizational capabilities. Implementing an enterprise system like MPPM does not replace that face-to-face contact or those phone conversations that have to happen in order to move a project along and deliver our transportation programs. But it builds organizational capabilities because now there's visibility as to who's working on the project, where that particular action item is within the project, and that information is available and everyone is seeing that same information. Through this, we're also streamlining process design. So we're not just taking the processes as they exist today, but we're analyzing them and saying, how can they be better? How can we streamline them before we automate them? And lastly, MPPM is going to provide us with the data needed in order to have data-driven decision-making here at the agency. And again, the key component is that different people looking into the system will have the same information and therefore be able to use that to make decisions, versus today where if you ask a question, someone may go to one system and another person go to a different system and they provide different information. Again, the MPPM project is going to manage the entire project lifecycle. So we start with that project initiation when it's just an idea and it sounds like a great thing that we should be doing. But it will carry it through PE, PS&E, through letting, to construction or to maintenance. But MPPM will also house our non-let projects, our transfers, and manage our feasibility studies. The scope of MPPM is, again, a very broad scope around the transportation program, so all of the projects that fill that program or portfolio. It will impact the 25 districts, but it also impacts 21 divisions. As mentioned earlier, we estimate 6,500 internal users and 10,000 external users. So we're expecting not just our metropolitan planning organizations to be using this tool, but also all of our consultants, our contractors, and other vendors who help us manage the project lifecycle. They'll be able to enter a project that they have been invited to and be able to see the information for that project and update information as their role allows. Today, there's over 12,000 projects in our portfolio. And in those projects, of our most complex, highest risk projects, when you look at the end-to-end process flow, there are 44 workflows that come off that, meaning there are 44 touch points within the project workflow that need to reach out to a different area that generates additional work. In our research around the different contract types, there's 66 contracts that need to be automated. And when we talk about contracts, we're saying is we're going to provide a template and allow for the user to build that contract within the MPPM solution, have it reviewed for accuracy, route it through DocuSign for execution, and then have it stored in one of our document storage bases, not within MPPM, but provide a link then from MPPM out to our enterprise content management system or ProjectWise, where you can access those documents. Involved in the project, we have over 350 champions. The 350 champions are representatives of the districts and the divisions, and they are the go-to people who are getting additional information today early in advance of the project deployment, and they know where we're headed and they can answer questions. They'll also be helping us with user acceptance testing, with training, and then they'll be the go-to people within the districts and divisions to ask questions as we're deploying. We'll look at a slide here in a little bit that shows the 20 systems that we're planning integrations with, as well as the 40 systems that we'll be retiring due to this project and migrating the data over. And yes, we are planning to migrate all of the data from DCIS into the MPPM solution, so you only have one system to go to get project information. Lastly, I'll mention reporting. There is a robust reporting tool off of the MPPM solution. We did a call for reports across the agency from districts and divisions. We believe there's about 400 reports that we can build in advance and put into the portfolio so that end users can go in and use those reports easily. But the reporting tool does allow for end users to create their own reports if there's other information you may need. I'm going to shift gears here and talk a little bit about the vendor that we've selected to partner with on this initiative. It's pronounced Origo. If you want to look that up at some point, they do have a website, has the pronunciation out there, but they do respond to all the different variations of how the name of their company is pronounced. But Origo Software is actually a Texas-based company. They are located in Austin. And we're very excited about them because their platform is specific to transportation, capital, project, and program management. We selected them using the best value process, meaning that we have both the quality as well as pricing was in our favor there for best value. They are a single integrated commercial off-the-shelf COTS solution. What that means is that when we're not having to customize the solution, it is a configuration. Now, it is a lot of configuration, and when you actually see the solution, you'll see how it's tailored to TxDOT. But in the long run, this is an advantage for TxDOT because as we do enhancements to the system moving forward, we won't have costly expenses around customization and having to rebuild the customized information. As I mentioned earlier, they are designed specifically for transportation capital portfolio project management. We've talked about the configuration and the customization. They do have experience with other departments of transportation, They worked with the Ministry of Transportation in Ontario. They've worked with UDOT. They are with the City of Houston, Washington DOT, MassDOT. And I know you're saying, wow, none of those are quite as big as Texas. Well, guess what? No matter who it is, no one is as big as Texas. We have the largest program across the country, so we are going to be the biggest fish out there. So no one would have that experience today. And I will also share that a number of the other very large DOTs, such as Caltrans or Florida DOT, are getting ready to embark on the same journey that we're on, and they're waiting to see how our project, how our initiative ends up. And we've been in discussions with them through this process. So we were the first to go. Not only are we the largest, we were the first to jump in and go through this journey to modernize our systems. They do have subcontractors who have extensive experience with TxDOT, and they provided us with an enterprise license and a great maintenance package. The enterprise license is key. As you saw earlier, 6,500 internal users, 10,000 external users. If our portfolio grows from 12,000 projects to 15,000 projects, our end user number is going to grow substantially as well. With an enterprise license, we don't have to worry about that. We pay one fee, and we can have as many users related to TxDOT as possible on the system. I want to share with you their platform so that you'll see that it is truly built specifically for transportation programming. I know some of the letters may be a little faded, but the faded words on the on the left side in orange, they are the basic platform. So it talks about mobility, it talks about reporting, it talks about the setup of the system. The words in black going around the top and the right and down to the bottom are their platforms, their modules within the platform. Those highlighted within orange are the ones that we've purchased. Right, so we are in the process of developing project managing and planning and portfolio modules. They have a specific contract administration, bidding, and solicitation, which we will use for the letting processes, as well as our professional engineering procurement and our right-of-way best value procurements. We have asset management, which is where we will house our parcel information long-term and our bridge information and other assets as we bring those into the solution. And they have a module specific to right-of-way that we are in the process of developing at this time. The other modules we've purchased, but we are not configuring at this time, and so it allows us as an agency to have options in the future if we choose to use this solution for that type of information management. So let me tell you a little bit about where the project is today. We are very focused on the first, really 2 phases of the 8-phase project. We realized after we started the project that it is more complex than we had anticipated, and therefore we have pushed the dates out on the timeline. So the first phase, which we'll talk about what that's delivering here in just a second, will be available in March, and that's our current target date, is March of 2018, with phase 2 following with additional project management functionality and the automation of the right-of-way division. And that will be available in July of 2018 on our current timeline. So what is in those different phases? In phase 1, we are going to be introducing some project management workflows, as well as a great geospatial tool that is going to allow you to see your project location and different asset information and geospatial information related to the project location. We are going to be including the creation of maintenance projects in the MPPM solution versus CMCS. And your construction and your maintenance project engineer estimates will be created in the MPPM solution and then submitted through to the letting process. This will replace the front end of DCIS as well as USF, which is where the bid items are housed today. In order to do this, we as an agency have created a geospatial warehouse. MPPM is the first consumer of this geospatial warehouse, but as an agency, we're looking to have other geospatial tools and systems utilize the information out of the warehouse so everyone is using the same information and again, able to see that it's the accurate information. In phase 1B, it's being delivered at the same timeline as phase 2, and what we had to do in order to deliver phase 1, we pushed some of the scope into what we refer to as 1B. In that phase, we're going to be delivering project milestones, as well as having an interface with PeopleSoft. So DCIS has not been able to retrieve information from PeopleSoft, and in phase 1B, we'll be able to sync up PeopleSoft with DCIS. We're also bringing in the bridge assets and project management into MPPM. These will replace P6 and OPPM, which is the bridge program management system at this time. On the back end, what you won't see as an end user is that we're now moving a lot of the interfaces that today are from DCIS to other systems, and they will run from MPPM to those other systems. Phase 2 is the automation of their right-of-way processes. We'll be replacing ROAS and UIR along with other 8 databases that they're using in that particular division. This is a bit of an eye chart. I'm glad that we have the big screen in here so that you might be able to read all of the acronyms that are on the chart. I'll be available afterwards if there's any questions about these. But what's important about this chart is what's in the gray box in the center are all of the systems that will be retired over the life of the project, and we'll be migrating all of the information from those systems into MPPM. Across the top, we are going to be using new functionality here at the agency called an enterprise service bus in order to interface MPPM with other systems. And that enterprise service bus is an intelligent way of sending information into one solution, and that solution then knowing where to send that information or to go and get that information from all the different systems we're interfacing with. On the left-hand side, these are systems that we'll invoke, whether it's DocuSign for signature and execution of documents, or it's the storage of documents into the Enterprise Content Management System, ECM, or ProjectWise. And the geospatial warehouse is listed there as well. We are going to be interfacing with text.connect and publishing information directly to, we are going to be interfacing with text.gov and pushing information directly to text.gov in replacement of some of the systems that are retiring. And we will also be interfacing with the data lake so that in the future you would be able to combine information from MPPM and other systems that information is not housed in MPPM through the Tableau reporting system. All right, here's where I make my great announcement about text.connect. The platform that we have contracted for is Origo Masterworks, but we really wanted it to have a text.dot feel. So we asked our champions, our 350 champions, to help us come up with a name for this solution, the long-term solution, and they voted on text.connect. So the solution will actually be branded text.connect, and if you have time today, please come join us at our roadshow over in the MSC, where you can actually see 4 workstations where we're demonstrating functionality that we've already developed in text.connect and a couple of videos of future functionality and how text.connect will work. We're going to be there until 1 o'clock today. Are we doing questions independently or at the end? Okay, are there any questions? Yes. That we don't have the security. Yes, we have platform security. We have our security officer is working with the security officer from Origo, and we have a whole team of people addressing platform security. Yes.
So in the modules that you mentioned that were being started off here in this first phase, will there be the ability to accommodate
So in the first phases of MPPM, we will be addressing alternative delivery from the most simplest form, which is entering basic information into the system so the projects can be rolled up into our portfolio. In phase 3, we actually have requirements where we're going to be working with PFD and the alternative delivery team in order to further elaborate so that we can support them.